You're listening to Mind Over Money, presented by Waymaker.
G'day, Archie.
G'day, Lachlan.
Hey, everyone. This is episode 25. Woohoo! Our first milestone, I think. We've just hit over 1,100 downloads. So, yeah, thanks, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, that's awesome. Love seeing those figures.
So, today we thought we'd talk about our advocacy program. And we've never talked about our advocacy program much on the show. So episode 25, we're going to start answering some of your questions, or just the common questions that we get about wealth advocacy, what we offer here at Waymaker. So yeah, let's get into it. Actually, first of all, why did we start Waymaker? Maybe we should explain that to some of our listeners.
So we started Waymaker for a couple of reasons. And one of the big ones is, being sold a product doesn't really fix anything. And that's the common thing we see around finances is, product sales. And the other main reason is, who do we trust, to actually help us achieve financial freedom? And, because again, there's a lot of distrust in our industry around finances and finance companies and that. And so yeah, that was the big things I saw, and that we talked about together as the reason why we started this. Yeah.
Yeah, we've sort of seen this in the industry over the years, and now the data is starting to show this as the government does more research, that it was never so much advice that was the problem, nor even the products that were the problem. It was this bit in the middle where people didn't have a connection or relationship to someone that they could trust to actually take the step, start moving towards financial freedom, because it's in that relationship, that trust, where we have the confidence to get to where we need to go, and actually plan for our future and make changes today that put us in a great position. So yeah.
I think it's sort of worse today too, with all these online programs and supposed ways of making all this money, that it's making trust even worse. So here with what we do, you actually get to meet real people and work with real people.
Yeah.
And I saw that, as something really important.
Yeah. And so what is wealth advocacy really all about?
So it's amazing what can happen in our finances when we've got someone that's working with us to bring change. Because, we do struggle with change. We're people. So, and the research shows that we don't like change. And so we need someone that really helps us to actually change. And to find those better outcomes that are actually available to us. And so that's what wealth advocacy is about, is change and getting some really good outcomes.
Yeah. And change for everyone. We've really made this program for everyone. It's not just for someone with a high income or a certain situation. We want to bring this to everyday Aussies. And really help everyday Aussies, even on small incomes, realize the power of little by little everyday change, everyday wealth building can really make a huge difference to their financial story and the community around them. So everything we do, it's simple. It's really with that heart of everyday Aussies, all of us, we can all do something to put ourselves in a great future. So what does an advocate do? And what does an advocate also not do? So when we talk about the advocacy program, the advocate's one of the keys to this program.
Yep. So starting with what we don't do. So an advocate won't tell you what to do, right? Because, if we tell you what to do, you're gone. It's like last thing Aussies want is someone telling them what to do. It's like, nah, we've got to discover things for ourselves. And it's our thinking that's holding us back. And so often our mind is just working overtime, trying to figure things out, which makes us very tired, and we're not actually getting anywhere. And so we get frustrated and we start trying to do different things. So an advocate helps you with tools, helps you with your thinking, helps you to act differently and start to obtain clarity around your finances and your money. and can really help propel you forward in your financial journey. And that's an important thing to put there, is it is a journey. Nothing happens overnight and is fixed forever. It's constant change.
Yeah, but an advocate does give advice in a certain area. What is that?
Just around cash flow. So cash flow is the key to building wealth, and so that's a big area that we focus on. If we can help people get their cash flow sorted, we can see people really move ahead in leaps and bounds. And so that is one of our prime areas that we work on with and help people with, because later in the show we'll talk about it, but we do have a really good cash flow system. But we won't give personal advice. We leave all that up to professionals, but we definitely help out. Yeah.
Okay. So an advocate doesn't give personal advice, but they do have tools, they have questions and ways of helping make sense of things around finances, like super, like tax and investing, the things that help you build wealth, cash flow, so that when we get clarity of these things, we can actually then start moving in the right direction. And that's where an advocate can also connect you to different partners and things like that to actually get strategies and implement them. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so the program, we designed it like a membership. There's a fee. How's that paid? How does it work? What do people get with that? By the way, I love being the devil's advocate, and this is great. This is fun.
So if we don't charge properly, we actually don't get the results. And so we are charging a reasonable fee. It's $40 a week. It's just like getting a personal trainer at the gym. And we're looking for that, relationship to build, so that we get trust, so that we can actually, recognize that, people are putting in time and effort. So, we've got to pay for that. And we get a really good response from that. There's something in our wiring that, if we pay for it, we'll actually respect it and, work with it.
Oh, definitely. I once had this gym I joined. It was dirt cheap, like $10 a week. I don't think I ever went. I think I went once, and that was it. It was just so cheap. I never showed up. But unlike the gym, you can actually eat cookies in our program, so we don't put you on any diets. Okay, so what's included? What are people getting when they join Advocacy, Wealth Advocacy, as a member?
Yep. So we've got our personal advocates. So you're going to be dealing with someone, a real person. So, and we got people in our support team as well. With what we do. And so it's someone you're going to be able to, build trust with, and not just the advocate, but the team as well. A big part of this program is that there is a team of people. So it's yourself, your spouse or partner if you've got one, people in the advocacy team, professional people that we pull in, where their services are required. And it's just fantastic, the change that can occur when you've got that level of support and trust.
Yeah.
So plenty of encouragement, plenty of, you can make it, because sometimes we want to throw in the towel and, we think it's a bit too hard, or we're confused, or, we hear different things and we can feel like, this might be a bit too slow, but slow is good in what we do. There is no rush. If the only reason we see people wanting to rush us is to try and sell us something. So we're not in a rush. We're not trying to sell you something. And so, and this is all stuff that we do ourselves as well. So that's a great part of helping build that confidence too.
Yeah, it's the wealth building process. We have to keep changing. We have to keep growing. It takes time, and this is something we're doing as well. Okay, so an advocate is both a coach, they're a cheerleader, they're a connector. We believe everyone in Australia needs an advocate in their corner. And so that's why we've created this and made it affordable. The last thing to probably point out there about the advocate is, in advocacy, it's all about helping us change our mindsets and take action. And so the advocate really is part of that key catalyst for change, is that relationship with the one-on-one advocate. And it is one-on-one. It's not just like a number in a queue and you're getting someone different every time. It is one person allocated to you, and that's your advocate. What else do we get as part of the membership to Advocacy?
So the proven cash flow system that we mentioned earlier there. this is a system we've worked on for a long time. There's plenty of cash flow systems out there, lots of spreadsheets. There's so much stuff out there, and supposed apps and programs that are going to, change the world for you. Honestly, I can say I've probably tried most of them and hated pretty much most of them, and didn't find the change, that my wife and I were looking for. So,
and some of them just want you to feel good about spending. That's it. And that's just like a dentist giving you a lollipop.
I especially think
it's going to make you feel good, but it doesn't help your teeth.
Yeah. Some of them actually get you to spend all your money. They actually literally get you to spend all your money. And
it's like a budget to zero, spend to zero.
So it's pretty funny. Oh yeah. So with our system, we've gamified it. It's installed on your phone. It's it works, but to bring clarity between you and your partner. If you've got a partner, but it also works to bring clarity again with your advocate, so that everyone's working together. If we don't have a good cash flow system, it's really hard to do very much in around finances. And so this cash flow system really pulls everything together, and we especially use a bank system so that it is live and it is real, and you're looking at real money and you're looking at everything in real time. And so that's where we found that to work, extremely well. So rather than a spreadsheet that you'll never look at again, or only one person looks at and understands, this is an actual banking app, banking system, and you use it every day.
Yeah, and unlike other cash flow systems we've seen out there on the internet, they are just selling you a spreadsheet, and it's very much figure it out and track it yourself. We were just laughing before. We use a spreadsheet to plan the cash flow system at the start, but then we actually implement it in the banking app, and then we don't get back to the spreadsheet. It's you in the app making it yours every day and working with it. So the spreadsheet is just to set it up, and then it's actually using the app, the banking app. But we were just laughing before because I had a spreadsheet, and as soon as I'd saved it, I'd lost it. It was already gone. And I think we've all had that. We've made a budget on a spreadsheet, and then we're just like, I don't even know where it is 2 minutes later. So that's why we use an app. Okay, what else?
Yeah, we've got access to our online hub. So again, this is exclusive for people doing the wealth advocacy. And so this has got our resources. This has got, our journey that we're going to be taking to build our finances and our wealth. And so again, we need something that helps us stay focused, something that helps us to change our mindsets, change our thinking. So that's where resources come in. That's where not just resources, questionnaires, different ways of working with things, podcasts. It's all there to help bring change. I just love it when I hear people suddenly say to me, this is what I'm going to do. And you go, oh, yes, you've got it. And, you get that moment where, things have fallen in place for people. And then you see the smiles on people's faces because, things are working out, and all the hassle has fallen off their shoulders, and they've got a clear system, they've got clarity, and things are working, and they're moving forward. And so, that brings a smile to people's faces, because the brain isn't chewing over everything and trying to figure out what to do. It's all been, it's all nice and clear and working, and, you have systems to actually make things work.
Yeah, the hub is awesome, and we're slowly building it every day, so it's just becoming more and more valuable. The hub is not just resources, it's also got social media features included into it. This is the new version of the hub. We used to call this My Hub, we just call it Hub now. And so you can actually connect with other people in our community around different topics. So it has these social media features, but it's not like Facebook where everyone can see what you're saying. This is a closed community, so it's a safe place where you can comment and talk about things with our other people in the community. And speaking of community, Archie, another thing that's included is we have this community of people that are on the same journey. Other Australians, just like you or not like you. We have families from high, low income. We've got individuals, young and old. We've got single mums, we've got students, you name it. They're in the community, and it's growing. So yeah, we love that.
Yeah, the thing I love about community is that how much learning comes out of it. How much we understand and grow from understanding people's different situations and what works in a situation, what doesn't work in a situation.
Yeah.
And then along with that, we've got our community of trusted financial partners. So, these are wealth partners in tax, financial planning, insurance, lending, conveyancing, and other areas. So, it just takes the stress out of who do we trust, and it also enables us to put strategies in place and work with people who really know what they're doing.
Yeah, on that point, like I've seen people for years and years, they talk about things. They talk about investing, they talk about starting a business or buying a property. But the ones that actually work with a professional, they just get it done and they move on with their life. They're not having to go through the motions on the internet or reading all the books and the blogs. They're not trying to find who is it that I can trust. They're just quietly and confidently doing it. They're winning. They put those things in place with the expert support. And so I'm always the first one to advocate anyone that I meet is, get expert help. Whatever area of your life that you're wanting to improve, work with others. Don't do it on your own. Reach out and get that expert help. And that's what our wealth partners in the community are all about. They are those trusted experts who are qualified in those different areas to help people. And so we just love connecting people to our wealth partners.
Yeah, that's right.
So, okay, so that's the program. So we've got the Advocate. Let's run through that again. We've got the Advocate, we've got the cash flow system, access to the hub, and the community of other people and the community of wealth partners. So that's amazing. Now, what are people getting out of this program as they work with it? What are some of the things that we've seen people achieve in the first 12 months?
I'd say one of the biggest things is before you even look at the financial numbers on what people get out of it, is quite often I just see people breathing a sigh of relief that they've actually got someone on their side, and there's a way forward. There's hope, and you start to see confidence build. That's such a key to seeing people move ahead in finances. Then on the money side, we're seeing families move ahead by at least $30,000 a year. With their wealth building. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but it actually is. It's actually a massive figure. It's not uncommon to see couples just, doing 60,000 plus a year that they're moving ahead by. For single people, individuals, we're seeing them move ahead by at least $20,000 a year. Even single mums moving ahead by at least $20,000 a year.
That's awesome.
And it's a combination, of investing, paying off the mortgage, reducing tax, reduce living costs. These are all real results that are tangible, and people actually see them and can, they know that things are happening.
Yeah.
And again, that builds more confidence, and we see people move forward even further again.
So it's not a pyramid scheme. You actually see real results.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And what are some specific examples recently?
So, because we're looking at things from the outside, we get to see, is the Centrelink up to date and working properly? And so recently, one couple picked up another $10,000 a year in Centrelink that they were missing out on.
Nice.
We love seeing that sort of stuff happen because that's a huge amount of money. It's tax-free, that comes in. We've seen couples, that we've been helping purchase houses, and they're now going to pay those houses off in under 10 years. And for one couple, just running through the figures here, they're going to reduce their interest from $336,000 down to just $71,000 by getting that home paid off in under 10 years. And that $265,000 in interest savings, that's now going towards investments, and that's going to produce millions throughout their life. So, and for this particular couple, they're moving ahead by $60,000 a year, and that keeps increasing each year as everything keeps growing. So they're very happy. And there's lots of cases like this.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yep. We've also seen a lot of cases where people have removed their reliance on credit, credit cards and debt products, and are using the cash system, and suddenly find that, they got up to $10,000 or more in the bank that they've never had in their life. And again, you just see the relief that brings. And, all of a sudden, even just the way they're spending money changes, and they're in control. I'd probably say that's the key thing. They're actually in control, and they're not relying on someone else anymore. So the other thing we see with the cash flow system too is, we see people reduce their living costs, but it's not just the cash flow system. When we start choosing how we're going to live, we actually choose our lifestyle. We choose what it is that's important to us. We're not being controlled by marketing anymore. And all of a sudden this great freedom takes place. And, especially for couples, we just see couples being able to share what's happening in the finances, and just start to see, a lot more growth, just around their communication and their ability to make those choices and choose how they really want to live.
It's these intangible parts, like the communication between spouses, that I think gets us most excited. And it's funny because it's just people like, so what do you guys do? And we're like, we just giggle because we can't sometimes explain it. But it's just amazing when we see these testimonies where people are saying, yeah, like our marriage is better. We're just communicating better. We're not fighting over things. We just realized that we've been under all this marketing, and now we just get to really, choose our bills, our suppliers based on what's good value. And so we've seen people cut their living costs in half without any major sacrifices. It's just being really mindful and smart about daily cash flow and bills. In fact, you could argue that there's no sacrifice, because all the cash flow system is doing is really just helping them choose their lifestyle. So they just get that freedom to go back through and just re-choose. Re-choose. What do we actually value? Where are we spending money? And the system actually helps you make those decisions day by day. And if you stuff up, just keep going. It's all good. Like, guilt is 0% helpful. So we just say, keep going, and tomorrow's another day. Yep. And so that's where the advocate comes in and is cheering you along. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. We're also helping people buy their first home, or even just buy their next home, and just setting them up to win, helping them to work through all the issues around homes and how much to spend on a home, how to buy a home, how to do the loans. That's such a big area, and we see a lot of good stuff come out of that. And especially because the home will have a big impact on your living costs. And so how you manage that home, does have a big impact. And so we're seeing some really good results there.
Yeah, that's really exciting. Seeing people get into their first home and, making use of all the different incentives and solutions out there to help them do that, and not have to fall prey again to the marketing and the schemes, because there are a lot of them out there around property. So last question, let's wrap this up. What would you say to someone that's on the fence about being a member of the advocacy program? Maybe they're a little fee hesitant, or they're wondering, hey, why can't I just do this myself?
Well, yeah, look, we're definitely living in an age of information, and there's heaps of it, and it's available in books, podcasts, the internet. And so, we could do a lot of things ourselves. Like, we can fix our own car. We can, we can make our own clothes. We can even fix our own teeth, just like Mr. Bean. If you've ever watched Mr. Bean do his own teeth.
Or Homer Simpson.
But information doesn't create transformation. We can become overloaded with information and find ourselves just not doing anything. And look, I remember how I used to fix my own car, and then I finally one day worked out that I spent pretty much my weekends fixing cars, and I was totally missing out on my life. So I started taking my car to a mechanic, and I just couldn't believe, how much they could get done, how quickly they could get it done, and how cheap it was. And I've never gone back to fixing my car again, never. because I love my mechanic. My mechanic is so great because he's so good at what he does, and he's a good mate as well. So if you're sitting on the fence, there's a lot of low cost stuff out there that you could easily do yourself. But what you're missing out on is all the stuff you don't know. And so, you can do stuff yourself, like we just talked about with that car example. But then you miss out on all the stuff you don't know. You miss out on what's coming through the community, and it doesn't really cost a lot. So what have you got to lose? If you lose a couple $100 because you try it and you don't like it, does it really matter? You got to jump in and have a go. Be Australian. Jump in and have a go.
I love that. Have a go. If you want to go, have a go. Because you don't know what you don't know. I love that. Yeah, we do have this advocate community feedback where we are all learning together what's working, what's not working, and you just don't get that going alone. And you're right, like this is where we experience transformation is together. It's working in connection with other people. We need each other. So I love that. So yeah, if you are thinking, if you're on the fence, jump onto our website. There's a link in the show notes. Just click talk to an advocate, fill out like 5 questions, book in a discovery session. It goes through about 20 minutes and then we'll just give you a link. It's the same link on the website. You can join online or not join online. But if you join, we'd love to have you as part of a member of our Waymaker advocacy community. And we think you'll get a lot of transformation from this community. So so thanks for tracking with us on episode 25. We wanted to talk about this. If you have any questions about what we've just talked about, questions, disagreements, just reach out. You'll find our email in the show notes below, and reach out, ask us a question, or jump on social media at Waymaker Finance and talk to us. We do have a Q&A episode coming up soon, so ask us any questions about finance and we will answer them for you. We love answering your questions. So hopefully that answers some of your questions about what the advocacy program is. And even if you're part of our advocacy program and you're listening, you go, I didn't know that was included. Well, now you know. So thanks for listening as well.
Thanks, Lachlan. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Cool, guys. Okay, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everyone.
This podcast is for education purposes only, and it does not consider your personal financial goals or situation. If you'd like to speak to someone about your financial situation, head to waymakerpodcast.com.au, the link's in the show note, and click Get Financial Help. There's a button there on the website, and we'll get you connected to one of our wealth partners. Thanks for listening to Mind Over Money. Have a great day.